Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for all the messages about my dental procedure. And without getting into too much, because I don't want to gross anybody out, I broke off, snapped off, and I'm not sure how, a tooth in the very, very back bottom right of my mouth. So the doctor numbed me up yesterday and just, we were going to pull it. But no matter how numbed up he got me, I couldn't take the pain. It was just more than I could deal with. So he stopped, stitched up everything he had done, sent me home, and now I got to go back the end of the month and be IV sedated so we can do it all again. I'm shocked because I'm usually pretty good with pain, but I don't know, there's something about dental pain, I just can't take it. Anyway, we have a lot to cover today, shockingly enough, so let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. Stories came out this morning that the Queen made a very generous monetary donation to help with the Ukraine humanitarian effort. She's not funding a study. She's not funding somebody to get an award. She gave money to help feed people. Fabulous. And because she is a world leader, people, instead of just making a statement, which, by the way, she didn't bother to make some senseless statement. She actually took action. She's setting an example for others. I just love this woman. All right, moving on. All right, this story came out. I was like, what? They're saying that Kate has had a major transformation, showing she's ready for business. She's ready to be the Queen Consort. She always was doing everything perfectly. I don't think she's transformed herself. She's being herself. That's all she's ever been, and she does a fabulous job. All right, moving on. Do you guys remember this tweet that I put up and showed you? This guy basically was like, look, I directed this last night, and he basically confirmed that the NAACP awards were done with no audience, and Harry and Meghan were alone in a room. So as they're looking out into the audience, there really was no audience. Remember that? Well, this guy put up a tweet that has everybody thinking that he might have been the director of the failed, horrible interview that Harry and Meghan did with Oprah. I don't know who this guy is. I may have to do a little bit of research into him. All right, moving on. This next story just kind of caught my attention because it just didn't shock me. Apparently, a photographer who has toured with the British royal family for over 40 years has stopped going on any trips with Harry and Meghan and called them miserable. I believe every word this man said. He said that Camilla and Kate and William, everybody was friendly and said hello. And then he said once Harry met Meghan, he became very distant and miserable, and neither Harry nor Meghan would acknowledge him. He said it was just flat out depressing to be with them, that they hated the media, and it was so miserable, he ducked out and went with Charles to New Zealand and places like that. I'm not surprised. And is anybody, I've told you guys before, if Harry had married somebody that would have helped him with his mental health issues, I think he could have led a full productive life. Instead, he married somebody who amplified his mental health issues and made it worse and twisted it to be, you know what I'm trying to say. All right, let's move on. Now, one other thing I've noticed is that there's been a lot of ads on Facebook and on television for the World Kitchen, the Central World Kitchen. Remember, this is the chef who's had a service where he goes around to disasters and cooks hot meals, and Harry and Meghan teamed up with him. And since then, you haven't heard a word about it. So I looked this up. And as you can see, they do this whole thing about the charity, and Harry and Meghan are not mentioned anywhere. I find that very interesting. All right, let's move on to our main story for today. Well, here we go, and it's about time. Samantha Markle is suing Meghan for essentially lying about her and their relationship and making malicious statements about her and trying to make her look in a bad light. If you go back to the video I did where I debunked the Oprah interview, there's actually 2 of those videos. You can see that she did lie about Samantha. And what kills me is they were really stupid lies. They were small, little, stupid lies. Like, why? You have to know that people are going to be able to debunk this stuff, but okay. So let's just take a quick look at the lawsuit. The lawsuit is 15 pages long, and obviously I'm not going to go through all 15 pages with you. But basically, Samantha is saying that she was lied about in the Oprah interview. She was lied about in Finding Freedom. And of course, it's come out now that Harry and Meghan helped and gave Omid the information about Samantha to Finding Freedom. They talked about the Times Magazine cover from Harry. He said some things about her there as well. It was brought up in the lawsuit how Meghan and Harry were both caught lying to the court, but claimed they simply forgot. She brought up a lot of lies that Meghan has told. She wants to give the people this idea of a rags to riches royalty kind of story, but she's bringing up that Meghan lied and said she was raised from virtual poverty and she was forced from the age of 13 to work to make ends meet, and she had to work for her Northwest college education, how she drove an old car with doors that didn't work, that she had no siblings and no contact with her family, that the family could only afford the $4.99 Sizzler bar, salad bar at Sizzlers, that her father refused to give her away at the wedding. And finally, she gets to the point where she says that the plaintiff published an autobiography was nothing more than a book of lies. Yeah. So she's going to take her to task for every single lie that she told. Oh, my God. Now, she's asking for damages in excess of $75,000, which does not include interest, costs, attorney's fees. So God knows how much money she's going to make out of this. I mean, she goes through the allegations that she knew, that Meghan knew when she was on the Oprah interview that was going to be reviewed by millions, that she was lying and painted her sister in a bad light. She put out all kinds of information. I mean, this is not going to be good. So as I said, this is 15 pages long. She is demanding a jury trial. I hope she doesn't settle. I would love to see this go to court. I would love to see Meghan on the stand going, well, yes, I did say this. Is it true? No. I would love to see that. So here's a small sample of some of what Samantha is alleging. So this is really small, so let me help you out. One of the lies she's saying is that Meghan visited Samantha in Virginia and attended her college graduation. We've already seen photos of that. That when she stated in the Oprah interview that as soon as Meghan started dating Harry, Samantha changed her last name back to Markle. That actually has already been proven to be a lie. We did that on this channel. That Samantha became a career creating stories to sell the press. That's a lie. In fact, the media has contacted and harassed Samantha. That Samantha lost custody of all three of her children. That is also something that Meghan and Harry put out. And Samantha never lost custody of any of her children. She also said that Samantha had 3 children from 3 different fathers. That is also false. That Samantha brokered press deals for her father. This is also false. Yeah, all this stuff that Harry and Meghan have said that's been a lie. Yeah, Samantha's got her receipts. This is going to be ugly. Now, in Finding Freedom, which we know the information was given to Omid from Meghan, Omid wrote that Meghan had crossed paths with Samantha only twice growing up. Completely false. There's only one picture of Samantha and Meghan because Omid said if there were more, Samantha would have sold them. Completely false. That Samantha reached out to The Sun magazine. False. Samantha never contacted The Sun. That Samantha was paid by The Sun. Completely false. That Samantha was not invited to Meghan's first wedding. That's false. I mean, the lies just go on and on and on. I mean, seriously, guys, I sincerely hope that they're going to try to make some sort of offer to Samantha to make her drop this lawsuit, and I sincerely hope it goes. This is not like the UK where you got to get permission to sue. She's filed. It's on. For those of you who would like to read the entire 15-page document, I'm going to link it in the description box for you. Now, as I've explained to you all before, the United States has different laws per state, and Samantha's lawsuit is based on Florida law because that's where she lives. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work because you got to cross state lines. But, you know, since Harry and Meghan are in California, I'm not an attorney. I don't know how all that works. It wasn't going to take long for Omid to say something. We all knew that. But he is so obviously on their payroll. It's like stupid now. You know what I mean? Look, I burn from Meghan's attorney. It's what burn? This is not baseless. It's not absurd. Meghan lied. We've already proven she's lied. Samantha's not going to take it anymore. I give her kudos for wanting to stand up against Meghan in a court of law. Good for her. And maybe, just maybe, Omid's getting a little nervous because it's already been proven that he perjured when he said that that Meghan had nothing to do with his book. Don't think for 1 second that they won't pull Omid onto the stand. He should be getting nervous. If I were him, I'd be terrified. Now, I can already tell you that Meghan is going to say that she didn't collaborate directly with Omid, but she gave a list of information to Jason Knopf to pass to Omid. So she's going on the technicality, well, I didn't talk to him, but that's not going to work anymore. Now, of course, the Sussex squad is immediately like, what is she suing for? I don't remember her saying anything. It's very simple. It's called defamation. When you claim that somebody's been married 3 times and they haven't been, and you disseminate that information to millions, not just a few people, but millions, that's defamation. When you say that somebody lost custody of their children and they didn't, that's defamation. If the Sussex squad wants to accept her lies, that she put herself through school after it was proven that she didn't, and if they want to accept all of her lies about how poor she was, even though her father had hit the lottery and she went to school, in private schools, etc., that's one thing. But to make defamatory statements about your sister when she can prove that what you said was a lie, that's going to cost her. Now, with all of that said, not only did Omid make a comment, but Mr. Boozy made a comment as well. He said that the lawsuit was not going to go well for Samantha. He went on to say that this was a preemptive legal move by Samantha, and then says, save this tweet. A response was put up by this person, which basically makes it look like Mr. Boozy is working for Harry and Meghan, which is something that people have been speculating. She wrote that, poor Samantha, she's forgotten that Boozy and Bot Sentinel have the goods on her and the role she played in the online hate against Meghan. But I agree with what Carolyn Wright wrote, as you can see below. Maybe she just wants some justice, and maybe she just wants to put the record straight. And of course, the argument continued on, 1 for, 1 against. But I really agree with what Catherine Jane said, if you look at the bottom. She points out, and rightfully so, that Harry and Meghan keep saying they want to stop putting out misinformation, or they want to stop online misinformation, but they essentially are guilty of putting misinformation out. That's already been proven. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep an eye on this situation, and we'll keep up with all of this, so don't worry. Now, I also want to add that Dan Wooten himself says that Samantha Markle is not a liar, and that every single thing that she's told him, even before the wedding, has been proven to be true. So you got a balance there. I think this whole thing's going to be very interesting, and like I said, I hope it goes all the way. All right, I'm going to end this video with a comment made by Angela on YouTube. You know how I'm always telling you guys to check the subscribe button because a lot of people found out they were unsubscribed? Well, she came up with an interesting theory. Apparently, if you don't hit the like button on videos after watching a few times, I guess YouTube thinks you're not interested and they unsubscribe you. I don't know if that's true, but it does sound like an interesting theory. So maybe you guys should be hitting the like buttons on my videos. And I'm going to end this video with a post that just popped up in my memories from 2014 on Facebook. And this shows you what my mantra has been for all these years. May I be medicine for the sick, food and drink for the hungry, a lamp for those in the dark, a bed for those who need rest, a guide for seekers. May all find happiness in my actions, and let no one suffer because of me, whether they love me or hate me, hurt me or wrong me. May all obtain true and trusting and realize supreme peace. So with all of that said, I want your comments. What do you think of the Queen donating money? What do you guys think about certain royal reporters refusing to go on tour with Harry and Meghan due to their bad attitude? And what do you think about the lawsuit? Make sure to leave those comments below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you've already hit the button, make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Getter. You can email me. For those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.